We're continuing our look at Zermatt, Switzerland, a beautiful village in the heart of the Alps, most famous for the majestic Matterhorn mountain that towers over it. And in this episode, we are going to walk down from the Sunnegga mountain. It's an easy and scenic hike, but first we'll have a quick look around in the beautiful village of Zermatt. And then later in this episode, after our mountain hike, we'll take you back into Zermatt village for some more views. We happen to be in Zermatt during a very special time of the year to see the Goats Parade. This happens during the summertime from late June until the middle of August, and the goats come walking through the village two times. They're 9 o'clock in the morning, they're walking out from the town to the pasture, and 5 p.m. in the evening, they return to the village every day, but only in the summer for about 6 weeks. These are Valais blackneck goats, and they are a herd of about 50 animals who are the stars of Zermatt's summertime. The goat herders are youngsters who live in the area, and each day 3 different children get the honor of walking the goats. By 1970, these goats had become an endangered species, but they have been cultivated and they've bounced back since then, and now it's estimated there's over 3,000 of these goats in the area. Well, now we're going to take you up the Sunnegga mountain, and we'll hike down on a route that's different from the trail that we have already presented in another video about the Sunnegga. You can find that also on our YouTube channel. Start by riding up the underground funicular, taking the trail on the north side of the funicular compared to the trail that we just finished, which was from the left side or south side from the funicular. The sign shows our routing in the direction of Tufturn. It takes about the same length of time to get down to the bottom, down to Zermatt, whether you go down the trail on the left side or the trail on the right side. We do have another movie showing the walk down the left side of Sunnegga, so take a look at our YouTube channel and you can compare for yourself. And they're about equal in angle and difficulty, but they do have their own differences that we'll be showing you now as we walk on down the trail. Something nice they share in common are these frequent views that you get of the Matterhorn, the magnificent signature mountain of Zermatt. Remains of an old avalanche. Scenery at the upper level is open forest with the grassy hillside between the trees. In about half an hour you arrive at this tiny hamlet of Tufturn. There are a couple of restaurants and cafes here, so you could actually take a break if you feel like it, sit down, get something to eat. More likely you're just going to keep on walking by, but it's a pretty collection of chalet-style buildings just to enjoy as you walk on down the hill. For just a short while, the trail gets wide and gravelly and dusty and not so attractive. It's more of a bicycle trail than anything. But most of the trail ahead is going to be nice and narrow and geared for the hiker. It'll take about 1 more hour to reach the bottom, and practically throughout that entire walk now you're going to be enjoying scenery like this with the green hillside and lots of trees. These are primarily the lark trees, the native tree of the area. And it is very clean and green and plenty of fresh air up here. There are several different and interconnecting routes on this hillside. You notice some of them are wide like this for the bicyclists. You might even consider doing it as a bike ride. You can rent a bicycle in town and bring the bicycle up the funicular and then just ride down on the wider roads. That'd be a nice way to do it. Walking puts you on the smaller, more narrow trails. This signpost is offering us a lot of different choices, and you'll notice the numbers there. That's not miles or kilometers, that's hours. So if it's a 1, that's an hour, half, so on, 3/4 of an hour. We're heading in the direction of Ried and then on to Zermatt for a total walk of 1 more hour. The sign marks a trail intersection, and here it splits. We'll take the lower path that will take us down to Reed and away from the bicycle traffic. And now the trail gets a little steeper, a little bit more uneven, so you've got to watch your step.
Oh yeah.
It does help to use a walking stick.
Oof.
I'm not able to do that because you'll notice I'm taking pictures with the video camera. In fact, I've got my camera mounted on a Steadicam to give you that floating effect of walking along with me in the forest. But you got to be careful.
Oh shit.
At this point, it's an ideal mountain trail. It's easy, and it's just the right angle downhill that it lets you float along without any effort at all. And it winds and turns in these sinuous S-curves that are just very pleasant. And even though you're in a rather heavy forest, it still opens up now and then for those classic views of the Matterhorn. Alternatively, another way to get down this hill is to jump off it in a paraglider. You can go up even as a total amateur. You go up with an expert and you can fly tandem. You just take that funicular up, walk up a little bit more, and jump off the mountain. You'll come floating down right into Zermatt. Final signpost showing it's just 15 more minutes to the end of the trail. In this bottom section, the trail levels off a little bit more. You're still heading downhill, but it's even, nice smooth surface, very easy walking. At this point, you know you're getting close to town because you look at the Matterhorn and then you look down and there's the village in the valley below. It's only another 5 or 10 minutes before you're reaching the first house. At the bottom of the hill, we're going to take another little walk in town and show you some of the shops as they were and still look today. Well, here comes the last little stretch of our nature trail, and then it becomes more of a urban pathway, staircase and paved lane that'll bring us right back into the suburbs of the village. There goes the Gornergrat train. We've taken you up there in another episode at Zermatt. A view looking back up at the hillside that we just walked down. Green hillside covered with trees. Very nice walk. There's a large mural map outside the funicular office. Shows you the routings and many trail choices you've got when you go up the Sunnegga hill. Recap the route that we just took down, this time from the north side of the funicular, winding around passing the hamlet of Tufturn and on down the hill. The fun continues with further walking in the village of Zermatt. Right down the main lane, you see it's lined with all sorts of interesting shops, restaurants, buildings, and fascinating people to watch always. Gotta love the variety of eateries here in town, from the simple sidewalk sausage stand to these nice outdoor restaurants. You can sit on the terrace and you're right on the main lane here and watch the people go by. Of course, Zermatt is a year-round holiday resort town. Great in the summer for hiking and walking and just being in this beautiful village. And in the winter, it's a tremendous ski resort. There are places where you can actually ski all summer long at the top of the Kleine Matterhorn. It's the largest summer ski slopes in all of Europe. But mostly summer activities are relaxing in the town and taking a walk out in the countryside and riding up to those beautiful mountain heights for the views. As you can see, it's a lot of fun just to walk along on the main land of the village. You can go back and forth. It's just about a mile or a kilometer and a half from one end to the other. And there's some little side lanes you can explore as well. One of the great hotels of the world is located here in Zermatt. It's the 5-star super deluxe Zermatterhof Hotel. They've got a garden restaurant. You can sit outdoors or sit indoors, and you can have afternoon tea or a complete meal here. The Grand Hotel Zermatterhof is constantly being upgraded and improved, and the guests are pampered.